Hello students, this is Dr. Vijayalakshmi Naidu, Assistant Professor Botany, Government VYT PG Autonomous College, Durg. Students, today's topic is concept of holoenzyme, apoenzyme, coenzyme and cofactors. This topic is the part of the syllabus of MSc Botany students in enzymology, and it is also in the syllabus of BSc third year botany students in paper 1 unit 2. Students, before starting this topic, I would like to let you know the characteristics of enzymes. As we all know that all enzymes are protein, means the main material of an enzyme is protein. It is easily influenced by environmental change, means the enzymes can be easily influenced by the environmental factors like temperature, pH and inhibitors. It acts as catalyst, means the enzyme functions in accelerating the chemical reactions, and students, at the end of the chemical reaction the enzyme remains unchanged. The enzyme functions specifically, means all enzymes are substrate specific and they function on a specific substrate only. It functions in reverse. It means the enzyme does not determine the direction of reaction, but it only functions in accelerating reaction rate until it reaches equilibrium. And the last characteristics we see in the form of it required in a small amount. Students, a small amount of enzyme is able to catalyze a chemical reaction. So students, I think you understood the important characteristics of enzymes. Now we are moving towards our main topic, that is concept of holoenzyme. Students, the enzymes can be divided into two categories on the basis of whether the enzyme is completely made up of protein or along with the protein some other non-proteinaceous parts are also there. So in this way we can see here that the simple enzymes are those enzymes which have only protein part, means the enzyme is here made up of protein only. But the conjugated enzymes or complex enzymes are the enzymes which are made up of the protein part, that is apoenzyme, and along with this protein part they also have the non-proteinaceous part in the form of cofactor. And these cofactors, which are the non-proteinaceous part of the enzyme, are further divided into two categories on the basis of whether they are organic in nature or they are inorganic in nature. If they are organic part, they are termed as prosthetic group, and if they are non or inorganic, then they are only known as coenzymes. Students, in this way you can very well understood that the enzyme, if it has only protein, then it is named as simple enzyme. But if the enzyme along with the protein part, that is apoenzyme, also have the non-proteinaceous part, that is cofactor, then that enzyme is known as conjugated or the complex enzyme. And the cofactors are divided into two parts on the basis of whether they are organic or inorganic. Students, one thing I would like to tell you, that these apoenzyme and the cofactor collectively they form the holoenzyme. So I think students, the concept is very clear here, that holoenzyme is formed when the proteinaceous part of the enzyme, that is apoenzyme, combines with the non-proteinaceous part of the enzyme, that is cofactor. Now this concept we can understand by this diagram also. We can see here that the apoenzyme, that is the protein part of the enzyme, when combines with the non-proteinaceous part of the enzyme, that is cofactor, it forms holoenzyme. Students, the apoenzyme is actually inactive. The activator is cofactor, and when by the combination of apoenzyme and the cofactor the holoenzyme is formed, it becomes active to work on a specific substrate. Now with this table we are going to see the difference between the apoenzyme and the holoenzyme. Students, apoenzyme, holoenzyme refers to the apoenzyme along with the cofactor, which is complete and catalytically active, and apoenzyme refers to the inactive form of enzyme which activates upon the binding of a cofactor. Apoenzyme is the inactive form of the enzyme, whereas catalytically active form of the enzyme is actually holoenzyme. Apoenzyme consists of the protein part of the enzyme, and holoenzyme consists of the apoenzyme and one or several cofactors. In the starting we have seen, students, that holoenzyme is formed when the apoenzyme combines with the non-proteinaceous part of the enzyme. The apoenzyme, incomplete enzymes that are less complex, whereas complete and complex enzymes are holoenzymes. The examples of apoenzyme are the catalytic components of DNA polymerase enzyme, so they are considered as apoenzymes. And the example of holoenzyme is multi-subunit complex of DNA polymerase, so it is considered as the holoenzyme. So I think, students, with this table we have seen here that what are apoenzymes and what are holoenzymes. Now with this diagram also we can understand the concept of how the holoenzyme is formed. The enzyme without its non-protein moiety is termed as apoenzyme, and as we discussed earlier, it is inactive. And holoenzyme is an active enzyme with its non-protein component. So students, we can see here that the apoenzyme, which is a proteinaceous part of the holoenzyme and which is actually inactive, when it combines with cofactor, that is non-proteinaceous part of the enzyme, but it is an activator. So when these both get combined, they form holoenzyme, which becomes active to work or function on the specific substrate. Now students, we are going to see some of the properties of coenzymes and cofactors. Many enzymes can catalyze a reaction only if substances called coenzymes or cofactors are present. The apoenzyme, that is the protein portion of enzyme. Holoenzyme, it is formed when the non-protein coenzyme or cofactor get combines with apoenzyme, that is the proteinaceous part of the enzyme. The coenzyme, that is the non-proteinaceous part, and it is organic in nature as we have discussed earlier. And the cofactor, that is the inorganic ion, maybe in the form of magnesium ions or zinc ions, that often improve the fit of an enzyme with its substrate. Students, we have very well come to know that what are holoenzymes, what are apoenzymes, coenzymes and cofactors. Now, with this table, we are going to see the coenzymes and cofactors. Coenzyme is a small organic non-protein molecule that carry chemical groups between enzymes, whereas the cofactor is a non-protein chemical compound that tightly and loosely binds with an enzyme or other protein molecules. Coenzyme is a type of cofactor. Coenzymes and prosthetic groups are the two types of cofactors. Coenzymes are molecules and cofactors are chemical compounds. Coenzymes are organic molecules, whereas the cofactors are inorganic compounds. Coenzymes loosely bound to enzymes, and the cofactors, they are covalently bound to an enzyme. The coenzymes assist biological transformations and cofactors in the functions of relative enzymes. Coenzymes serve as carriers to the enzymes, and the cofactors increase the rate of the reaction that is catalyzed by the enzyme. Coenzymes can be removed from the enzyme easily. Please pay attention over here, students. Whereas the cofactors can only be removed by denaturing the enzyme. Examples of coenzymes includes the vitamins, biotin, coenzyme A, etc. And the examples of cofactors include metal ions like zinc ions, potassium ions, magnesium ions, etc. So I think with this table very well we have differentiated coenzymes with cofactors. Now students, in this table we are going to see the cofactors in the form of ions of some of the important enzymes. For example, the cytochrome oxidase enzyme is having cofactor in the form of cupric ions. The catalase cytochrome with the heme nitrogenase hydrogenase enzymes, they are having the cofactors in the form of ferrous or ferric ions. The glucose 6-phosphate hexokinase DNA polymerase are having the cofactors in the form of magnesium ions. Arginase enzyme is having the cofactor in the form of manganese ion. Nitrate reductase nitrogenase, they are having the molybdenum ions in the form of cofactors. The urease is having nickel and alcohol dehydrogenase carbonic anhydrase DNA polymerase are having zinc ions in the form of cofactors. So in this table students, we have seen what are the main cofactors of different enzymes. Now students, once again we are going to see the coenzymes. Coenzymes act as group transfer reagents. Hydrogen, electrons or groups of atoms can be transferred. The coenzymes are classified in these two categories. They are metabolite coenzyme, synthesized from common metabolites, and vitamin derived coenzymes, the derivatives of vitamins. Students, examples of metabolite coenzymes. ATP, cantonate phosphoryl group. S-adenosyl methionine donates methyl groups in many biosynthesis reactions. Vitamin derived coenzymes. Vitamins are required for coenzyme synthesis and must be obtained from nutrients. Most vitamins must be enzymatically transformed to the coenzyme. Deficit of vitamin and as a result correspondent coenzyme results in the disease. The other coenzymes in the form of NAD and NADP, nicotinic acid, that is niacin, and nicotinamide, it is the precursor of NAD and NADP, and lack of niacin causes the disease pellagra. NAD and NADP are coenzymes for dehydrogenases. FAD and FMN. Flavin adenine dinucleotide and flavin mononucleotide are derived from riboflavin, that is vitamin B2. Flavin coenzymes are involved in oxidation reduction reactions. Students, these all are coenzymes. Thymine pyrophosphate, that is TPP, is a derivative of thymine, that is vitamin B1. TPP participates in reactions of oxidative decarboxylation, transketolase enzyme reactions, and at last we are going to see the coenzyme in the form of pyridoxal phosphate, that is PLP. PLP is derived from vitamin B6 family of vitamins, and PLP is a coenzyme for enzymes catalyzing reactions involving amino acid metabolism. So students, I think we have very well understood here the concept of holoenzyme, apoenzyme, coenzyme and cofactor. Thank you very much, students.